Hello and welcome to the Space Invaders inspired video game part 13, where we're going to learn how to make our aliens appear to be animated. So what I mean by that is when we start our game, we have our aliens that are sitting here stationary, and obviously the rocket can move back and forth and fire at them. But what if I want these aliens to kind of be flapping around, flapping their ears around, and actually add some motion? Well, we're going to do that in this tutorial. So right now we have our aliens printed as solid images right here. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to reprogram our aliens to go back and forth between two images, one with their ears up, one with their ears down. In theory, if you wanted to add smoothness or higher detail, you can go back and forth between many images, and this is usually called a step. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by uploading our second alien picture. So I upload an image called Alien 2 to go along with my Alien 1 picture that can be found on our resources page. And I'm going to make a couple variables up in global that we'll be needing to do this. The first is a second alien variable. So we're going to call it alien image 2. We're also going to need a counter to keep track of our speed for our animation or our steps. So I'm going to make this called step and set that equal to 0, and this is keeps track of animated aliens. Okay, and the same thing would go if you were ever trying to make a character that appeared to be walking across the screen. Now we're going to associate this alien image 2 variable with our alien 2 picture down in function preload, right below where we've already done alien image number 1. So I'm going to say alien image 2 is equal to load image alien dot png. I'm sorry, alien2.png. And for the steps, it's going to be very repetitive. In fact, 90% of this is just copying and pasting what we already have. But it is also going to be quite a bit of code. So instead of putting this in our function draw, I want to make a new function for our aliens to kind of separate it and keep our function game organized. So I'm going to make a new function called aliens, which will open and then immediately close so we don't forget to do that later. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go grab all of our drawn aliens from our game function earlier on. So we have up here, somewhere above all of our collisions, rows 1 and 2, however many aliens you have. I happen to have 18. I'm going to copy these aliens. Just hit Control-C, copy all this, and I'm going to go back down to my function aliens. Essentially, if our steps is 0, we're going to display one image. And then when we go to the next step, we're going to display another image. And we're going to go back and forth between the images, and I'll show you how to control your speed in a moment. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to make our if statement for our first step. So if step equals 0, and I'm going to paste those alien pictures I just grabbed. Then I have to close my step. Okay, so if step equals 0, we display our alien image. Now for my second step, I'm going to take this if statement, drop it below, and we have to change two things. The first is it has to become an else if statement, so we can teeter between these two if statements. The second is this is going to happen at step 1. And now we're going to change this alien image 2, or this alien image variable for each of these aliens to our image 2 variable, so that way it will display our alien images. Lastly, at the end of our steps here, we have to reset our step counter. So step equals 0. This will reset our steps. And we actually need to make our steps count. So to do that, we're going to start our counter right here at the top of the function. So I'm going to say start step counter, and I'm just going to say step equals step plus 1. So now our steps are going to count by 1. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to go find where we actually drew all these aliens in our game function and replace it with the aliens function. Let's go find that. So here's where we drew the aliens. We're going to delete these guys from here and replace it simply with the alien function run alien function. Oops, that's supposed to be a comment. Semicolon. And did I call it alien or aliens? I think I called it aliens. Aliens. Okay, so it's supposed to say aliens. Parenthesis, parenthesis, semicolon to run our aliens function. Let's push play. And now what we're looking at here is just our second alien image. And what I think is happening is it's actually flickering between alien image number 1 and alien image number 2 so quickly we can't see it change. So let's go back to our aliens function and add some more steps here. Okay, so we have step 0. We're going to copy this step 0, and we're going to make steps 0, 1, and 2 all alien image number 1. Okay, so I'm going to paste that once and change this to step 1. I'm going to paste it again and change it to step 2. All right. Now I'm going to take this step 1. This is actually step 3. We're going to get rid of our reset step counter, and we're going to copy this else if 2 more times. So that's going to be step 3, alien image number 2, step 4, alien image number 2, and step 5, alien image number 2. On the last step, we have to reset our step counter, so step equals 0. And then we also need to change these ifs to else ifs because we copied them before. So this is now else if for step 1, else if for step 2. The only if should be step 0. Let's push play. All right, now we see animation, but it's still moving really quickly. If this is how quick you want it, then you're fine. If you want to slow it down, you simply need to add more steps. So I'm going to copy steps 0 through 3 and paste them and change this guy to be else if step 4, else if step 5, else if step 6. This is now step 7, step 8. I'm going to copy this guy. 9, 10, and then step 11 will be step 5. So this is now step 8, step 9, step 10, and then the last one is step 11, which has our reset step at the bottom. So now I have 12 total steps from step 0 to step 11. Let's see what that looks like. That's much better. So that's more about the speed that I was going for. And I can now shoot at my aliens. And if I want to slow it down again, I could just double this and add even more steps.